And now I gotta talk about the sock thing. Because I already titled the episode that, and I put the sock in the thumbnail. Okay. Let's get to sock talk. Sock. Yes? Sock. If your superpower was the ability to control socks, how would you save the world? So, let's think this through, guys. Let's all put our brains together and figure out if you had the... Okay, so here's what the question is. Let me read it again for anybody that missed it. If your superpower was the ability to control socks, how would you save the world? So what does controlling socks entitle? I imagine it's some sort of sock-based telekinesis or like sock manipulation. So obviously, you know, the first thing that comes to mind is pretty much everybody wears socks. And if you can control socks... I feel like a crazy person. If you can control socks, then that means you can constrict them and just blow apart people's feet. Obviously, that's the go-to answer. But how are you going to save the world like that? You can't blow up everybody's feet. Oh, that's a good idea. Nerdman suggests wait for the villain to sleep, then tell the socks to smother him so he can be taken in. It's like the scene in Attack of the Clones where okay, that's it. I'm gonna be... Let's say we're some sort of tech-based superhero who also has the ability to control socks. Okay, the villain. Let's just say we're in the DC universe. The villain is Lex Luthor. We know that Lex Luthor is a bad guy. He's he's a corporate evil man. He's a villain. He's out of prison again. And we're like, that Superman just doesn't get it right. I gotta put a stop to him. I'm a superhero with tech who knows machines and I can control socks. And there's also a bunch of voices in my head that are giving me prompts. I gotta put an end to Lex Luthor. How am I gonna kill Lex Luthor with socks? This is so fucking stupid. What am I doing? Okay. Nerdman's idea. Let's work this through. Okay. Let's just assume we have a limited range on the sock control. Or do we? I'd say we'd have to have a limited control, because I feel like trying to take over the whole world's population of socks would really do us in. It really just probably give us a brain aneurysm or something, trying to control that many socks. So let's see how we get... Oh, the thigh-high socks. That'll really fucking get you. The thigh-high socks are the anaconda of dangerous socks. We would have to get close enough to Lex Luthor's penthouse to sort of let the socks in, or get the socks to control him. So either we send the socks in, akin to Attack of the Clones, where the droid drills a hole in the glass and droops the socks inside, and then using my mind powers, I control the socks to slither... Now they're socks. They're still just socks, I should say. What if he doesn't... Okay, so that's not going to work, because how are the socks going to get up onto his bed? They don't have thumbs, they don't have hands, they don't have little feet to climb up. I guess maybe the fibers of the socks? But is Lex Luthor the kind of guy to go to sleep wearing socks? I don't think so. This is getting tough. How do you kill Lex Luthor using a pair of socks? He would have to have a lot of socks. That's it. He's a rich dude. He has a lot... Yeah, make a pile. We combine all of the... We just get the socks and we just go. That's my sock controlling power. So. I'm gonna say max range of the sock thing, 50 feet. We gotta be within 50 feet of Lex Luthor sleeping in his penthouse apartment. which means that we have to somehow break in or disguise myself as a janitor. Possibly. That's where my mind just goes to. Maybe I'll get a job at Lex's penthouse tower as a janitor. And then just, like, lean against his penthouse door as close as possible. Try to control the socks. Which again raises the question, what kind of power is this? Is this an Ant-Man-based control, or is this an Aquaman-based control, where it's more of a suggestion to the socks? If the socks are able to be controlled in such a way, will the socks want to kill their owner? Or do they hate Lex Luthor? Like... Will I have to convince some of the socks who are like, no, I am fucking, like, I'm fine silk socks. I love being Lex's feet being in me. I refuse to kill you, Sock Man, or whatever this superhero's name is. It's, okay, we're going with Aquaman-based, where it's a suggestion, not a total control. Okay. So now, the problem arises that we have to... Okay, here's the list. 1. Get close enough to Lex Luthor to where we can control his socks. Clearly the socks are controlled by suggestion. Thank you, Rocket Cat. 2. Hopefully convince the socks to kill their owner. 3. Escape alive or be some sort of martyr for the world. 4. Profit. I'm doing the Gru thing. So socks, they're controlled by suggestion, meaning that they might not want to. So what the fuck do socks want? Do they want feet? They're made for feet. Now's where it gets tough. Now that we've made this horrible decision that they're controlled by suggestion. Oh my god. Let's say, okay, we gotta do this. We got one night. We only have one night to do this. We bribed the Lex Tower security to let us in. We're in disguise as a janitor. We went we went to Walmart beforehand, and let's say we got a couple of extra packs of socks. If you've been to Walmart recently or any store and had to buy socks, you'll know that you only get like fucking 4 in a bag. That's 2 pairs of socks for like $10, which is ridiculous. Why are socks so goddamn expensive, by the way, people? So let's say I have 2 extra bags of socks. So that's 4 socks in total that we have in reserve. And let's say Lex Luthor has 50 pairs of socks in his wardrobe. That's another issue. Is I'd imagine if you're like most people, especially a rich person, I'd imagine, has a drawer fit for the socks. So, assuming we can suggest and convince these socks to go against their master in revolt, how are they gonna open the drawer door? They're just gonna... Are the socks gonna be able to just thump themselves against it to open it repeatedly enough? Or is that going to make way too much noise, and then Lex Luthor's going to be alerted that his socks have come to life? This is not working out well. I don't think we're going to save the day, guys. I don't think we're going to get this one. Our time as a strange, assassin-based, sock-themed tech superhero is not going to work. Would Lex Luthor have enough dirty laundry, do you think? Or I guess, no. This just gets tough. I was going to suggest maybe sending my reserve socks underneath the door. Let's just assume it's a regular room door. Squeezing them under, and then seeing if they can reach the drawer. But they can't climb. I have personally established, to make this way harder for myself, that these socks are not able to climb. Thank you, Rocket Cat. We're not going to save the day, we're saving the goddamn world. One sock at a time. How do we do this? Okay, let me set the stage. We've got to the top penthouse floor. It's a big hallway. Security has been disabled we got 15 minutes to do this, to be in and out. That's as much time as they could possibly lose. Oh, static electricity. Oh my god, you're a genius. Rocket Cat. Holy shit, I didn't even think about that. All right. So, here's what we do. I'm pushing my little janitor trolley down the hallway. I get to Lex Luthor's giant penthouse doors. Security's disabled. It's dark. It's quiet. Nobody else is there. I can hear Lex snoring using his sleep apnea mask. Static electricity. I think that's how we do it. So, what I'm thinking, I get the reserve socks out. And then I just rub them against my body. And I go, all right, guys, go. Go and get the other socks. So, I don't know. I have some sort of a shag lining inside of my fake janitorial jumpsuit. That's how I did it. I just rub them. I rub the socks, get them nice and staticky. My hair's sticking straight up like fucking the Bride of Frankenstein. And I look down at my socks. And I give them the orders telepathically, of course. Of course, it is a suggestion, so they don't have to take it if they don't want to, but it seems like these socks, since I did purchase them and free them from their prison bag, I'd imagine they'd want to help. I told them that they'll save the world. I send them under the door. They squeeze themselves out on the other side. Okay, and let's assume it's just a classic wooden dresser. It's probably made out of fucking redwood or something. Statically, can they would I don't know how static electricity works. Can they stick to the dresser to climb up to open the drawer to let out all the other socks? Let's say they can. For just the sake of this, let's say that the socks then go under. I'm telling them what to do. I'm like, okay, if you guys see a dresser, climb up, open it up, find the socks. They go up. I assume they're moving like earthworms or something, or inchworms. Let's say Lex has 50 pairs of socks. That's 100 socks. I'm going to roll a 100-sided die on Google. And whatever amount comes up is the amount of socks that I have convinced to help me and the other socks kill Lex Luthor. 70 socks! All right, baby, we got 70 socks on our side, plus the other 8. I'd probably send in 4. I'm only sending in 1 bag for now. So we got 4 statically charged socks and 70 socks that have joined our cause, meaning that there are only 30 socks that we now have to worry about. So that's where this question comes up. Do the socks that disagreed with me, do they just hang out? Or are they going to try and fight back? Oh, yeah, Lex Luthor is going to be found in the morning, strangled by nothing, because I'm going to take the socks with me. Oh, my God. All right, so we got 70 socks under the control. They're all just... I don't know why they're making that noise. They're all flopping down on the ground. Lex Luthor is 100% not going to be the kind of guy who has carpeting on his floors, especially in his bedroom. Although, he might have a thin carpet sort of outlining his bed, that his bed is stationed on. Or maybe he's messy in his sleep, and he accidentally drapes over a blanket. I've already established that this version of Lex Luthor has sleep apnea. So is there something we could do with the sleep apnea mask? Start thinking. Fuck me, man. This is so ridiculous. Oh, God. All right, so we got 70 socks. We got 74 socks in total. They're inching their way across the floor towards a sleep apnea mask wearing dead asleep Lex Luthor. He's probably dreaming about having hair and killing Superman. Let's see. All right, so we've gotten to the bed. And I'll say that a blanket has been drifted off askew. And it hangs and slumps to the ground. So the socks have something to sort of... They can simultaneously charge themselves as they slide up, as they inch themselves up the bed. These 70 pairs of socks. Oh, huh. And um, oh my god, I just realized that's 70 pairs of socks. So that's a wait, no, that's never mind. Whatever. That's 70 socks. It's 70 socks. I don't want to do math. So I'm thinking Lex Luthor's bed has like a bed frame, or there's probably some sort of support beam, because I'm thinking of like the Grant Morrison style Lex Luthor, who has just super minimalist, aside from like a couple structural support beam poles here and there. And it's just an otherwise empty room it's just a bed with a carpet underneath, his sleep apnea machine, and and a dresser full of socks. um, I'm thinking, here we go. Could we somehow supercharge the sleep apnea machine via static electricity, and wherever the fuse is connected? I'm thinking we either do that and try and blow it out the window. No, it would be too strong. I was thinking we could somehow chain the socks around his neck, destroy the window, and then try and, like, make the sleep apnea machine, like, fall out with the mask still attached so he gets hung or hanged. I doubt Lex Luthor would have windows that weak. So, I think what we have to do is just suffocate him. 70 socks. Not even imagine 70 pairs of socks, which would be double that, 140. If you're sleeping and suddenly he already has sleep apnea, so he's already going to be choking to death anyway if the mask comes off. Do you think if you're dead asleep and then suddenly you start feeling soft, silky, whatever expensive material his socks are made out of, but they're forceful, they're all over your face, you think you're going to be able to fight off 70 socks? Especially some of them that are electrically charged? I don't think so. So yeah, I think here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order 15 of the socks to go down to his little sleep apnea machine, and I think it's like a tube that connects to the mouthpiece. I'm going to order those 15 socks to bundle themselves up and just wait. Wait for their time to strike. Meanwhile, the other 55 socks are positioning themselves all around Lex Luthor's head. And then when the time to strike occurs, the ball bundle of socks clumps onto the tube for the sleep apnea mask, cutting off his oxygen, or however those things work, making him... And then as he wakes up, just face full of socks. He pulls the mask off, probably out of just, normal, like, oh, I'm choking. And it's right then that the socks strike. And they're just fucking going down his throat. They're clogging him up like, those old cartoons where a character would eat too much and, like, the food would just clump up in the throat and just, like that. And boom, it doesn't take that long for a human being to die via suffocation. Maybe at most he could last like 2 minutes, maybe. That's another thing. Okay, here's something. I'm gonna tell another couple of socks to tie themselves together. Hopefully they know how to make a tight knot. I'd imagine so. I'd assume that whatever I know, they know as well. So I study up on the best knots. Have them tie themselves up and then loop around his face to get his nose, too. And then, boom, we have killed Lex Luthor, and we have saved the world via socks. I then control, or I suggest to all the socks inside, mine and formerly Lex's, to come with me and be my socks now. Because I am Socks. Socks Man. Socko. And I have once again saved the day. And no one is any the wiser. Daily... the little type pops up. Daily Planet, exclusive headline. Lex Luthor suffocates in the middle of the night by a sleep apnea. LexCorp CEO chosen. New CEO. Otis. And there we have it. Everybody. We have done it. We have figured out how to successfully save the world, specifically kill Lex Luthor, via the superpower to control socks.